I'm Alex Leith, the editor of ROSA Magazine, and I'm delighted to be in the home of Sarah Arnett. An open home for this weekend and the next two, because Sarah is participating in artists' open houses for, I believe, the first time. Sarah is an artist, an illustrator, and a designer. Internationally famous, I believe, for her textile and clothes designs, and locally famous among, soon to be more locally famous for her fantastic interior designs as well. Sarah, you, I believe, grew up in Africa, and I think that might have had some bearing on your creativity.
Well, I grew up in Zimbabwe, which is doesn't look at all like this, but I think that coming to England, coming to live in Brighton, going to the Royal Pavilion, I think I always sort of became aware of the sort of, you know, the differences, and yeah, so it's not very African, but I don't know why I've always been attracted to this sort of made up over the top world.
Right.
For some reason.
And you're a long-term resident of Brighton,
yes.
But I believe sort of off and on, because you also went to India.
Well, actually, that was my first. I was at uni in Brighton, did woven textiles, and that was my first job. I went to work in India for silk weavers, so it was thrown in at the deep end. Probably lied on my CV too much and ended up with this mad job in India, which I absolutely loved. It was an incredible experience. Yeah.
That was in Bangalore, was it?
Bangalore, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have never been to India. Did that leave a permanent impression on you?
It certainly, I think it helped me grow up. I think it actually enabled me to come back to Brighton and see Brighton anew. Having grown up here, going to art school here, I needed to go and have a mad adventure somewhere else to be able to come back and love Brighton.
Okay, and you certainly turned all your creative inspiration into something very positive, because you really had quite a lot, or have had quite a lot of success. I believe that Liberty's picked you up, and that was a kind of big break. How did that happen?
I had a little studio on Trafalgar Street, and it was a shop, and I didn't have any intention of really making or selling anything, but it had a shop window, and then with various friends we just started to sort of make things, and then Liberty, someone who lives in Brighton saw it, and Liberty got in contact, and we had to make a collection, and then suddenly we were doing Fashion Week, and then
Fashion Week, London, Paris.
Yeah. I know, it was like that, and luckily I got so many amazing friends in Brighton who are all makers, and so I just had so many people to turn to help, and I'm still friends with them all now, and everybody pitched in. It was an exciting moment, actually.
So your career basically exploded?
Yeah, I think I didn't know how it was going to work. I didn't know where we were going. Sometimes it was terrifying, sometimes it was amazing. It was so surreal to suddenly we'd be in Paris, suddenly we'd be, it was quite surreal. But I think when things like that happen, you just get on with it. Yeah, sometimes only in retrospect you look back and think, I don't even know how that happened.
Okay, it was largely, I believe, clothing at that point.
Yeah, it was all women's wear clothing, and I really was much more, I trained as a weaver, as much more of a sort of embroiderer, maker of patterns, and at the time, it was just when digital printing on fabric started to sort of happen. Someone told me about it, then I did a bit of searching, and then I found printers who, they were all set up to start printing, but they didn't really have anybody to work with, so we found each other at the great time. They let me experiment, and we started from there. Then the whole industry just exploded, and then I started working with amazing printers in Italy, and I didn't even really think I could draw. I know, because I didn't train in sort of drawing, I was trained in sort of constructing. So the drawing side of things has always been, very half textiles, half illustration. I don't really know.
And I believe now your output has exploded into all sorts of different areas. I've read about and seen pictures of sunglasses, clutch bags, prints, paintings,
anything. I do. I love the process of finding new things to print on, new ways of working with materials. Now doing wallpaper and working with a really fantastic company.
Okay, let's move on to Artists Open Houses. This is your first, as I mentioned before. It's about to kick off in about half an hour, I think. Are you excited? And how did you get involved? And why did you get involved?
I have. I've always, over the years, thought, I don't know if I could do that. The open houses are such incredible standards, people really have been doing them for a long time. But I did a little experiment at Christmas. I invited people around for the day.
Okay.
And I thought, wow, it was such good fun. And it was, I think also the thing that people kept saying was like, oh, I've seen a picture of yours in a gallery, or I've seen this, now I'm seeing it all together, it all makes sense.
Okay, well, as well as coming into possibly the most, I can't vouch for that entirely, but possibly and very probably the most exotic looking venue on not just the Seven Dials Trail, but the whole of Artists Open Houses. What can punters expect when they come here? What can they see? What can they buy?
I always wished I'd been able to go into Bieber, the wonderful department store. So in my head, I'm thinking this is quite Bieber. I've got clothes, we've got ceramics, we've got in the studio, we've got my old friends Holly, atelier. She makes the most beautiful handbags. My friend Viv, who makes the most amazing jewellery. Plus, we've got my friends who are fantastic, make the most amazing gin, some food. My choir singing tomorrow. Over the next 3 weekends, it's basically all my friends and all the people I do things with. We're all coming together to make a garden party, mini department store, hanging out spot.
Fantastic, and your own work, of course.
And you can buy my pictures, of course,
Okay, and here we are in what is sometimes, I suppose, the kitchen, but it is now part of the party. There are many more rooms than this, or there are more spaces than this open to the public. Can you just describe where people can go?
It's actually, you're going to arrive through my studio, which is where I've got my pictures hanging and 3 other makers, and then come through into the garden, which it has got actually my sculpture of Shaun the sheep I did for the Martins project. He's proudly on the lawn. And then you come into our main living space, which has just got all my wallpaper, cushions, and prints, cards, and lots of nice things to drink and eat.
Okay, fantastic. Viewer, how can you resist such an offer? It's open, I believe, this is the first weekend, it's the 12th of May as we're recording this. Open Saturday, Sunday, and then the next 2 Saturdays and Sundays. Yes.
So this weekend we've got our choir singing on Sunday afternoon, and everybody's invited.
Sunday the 14th.
Sunday the 14th, everyone's invited to come and join in. If you've ever wanted to join a choir, we've been going for about a year. The wonderful Bella Spink started it, and it's just fantastic. So I can't wait.
You're in the choir, I take it.
I'm in the choir. I should have been practicing more this week, but and then for the next 2 weekends, we've got some delicious food and drink from Slake Gin and also Sussex Gourmand. They're bringing some food, so there'll be lots of things to eat and drink in the garden.
And beer from Scaramanga.
Oh, and beer.
Scaramanga beer from Gun
beer
Brewery.
from Gun Brewery. And also one more thing which is really exciting, my friend Simon Martin, who is the director of Pallant House.
I saw him yesterday.
Oh, did you? Yeah, he is coming and he's interviewing my other friend Bethan Roberts, who wrote the book My Policeman, that got made into the wonderful film. So they're going to do an in-conversation here.
How lovely.
On the second Sunday. So yeah, it's all friends and yeah.
Okay, and just finally the details. It's on the Seven Dials Trail. It's venue number... We don't remember
15,
what venue. 15,
13.
perhaps. You better check that on the brochure. In the brochure, download it, pick it up.
Yes, yeah.
And the opening times?
11 till 5.
11 till 5.
Yes.
Well, I will certainly come back and I'll look forward to seeing you there. And thank you very much.
Thank you.